Alrighty, folks. Hello and welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. The Summer Bracket Challenge rolls on. We have some pretty strong matchups, and we will move on as well to the next matchup. We have an all Spain matchup, but it is a Clasico. It's Andres Iniesta versus Sergio Ramos.
Now this one is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an answer for this one. Hold on now. Let me think.
Yeah, it's not a knee jerk. This isn't one you can just throw out there. I don't know,
I have
man.
my answer. I have my answer.
You have your answer.
I
They both have the captain's presence. They both have the serial winner. They both have the clutch gene. Iniesta World Cup winning goal. Sergio Ramos wins Champions Leagues. Tough. This is rough pumpkins. This is a tough one.
I'm gonna go Ramos.
Ooh, Ramos.
Because
Any particular reason?
he's the defender that can do a little bit of both. He's scored in big moments, but I know he would die on that back line before giving up a goal. I know he would. I know Iniesta, and it's funny because we've talked about this in the past with the bracket. Every time I think of Iniesta, I think with Xavi. It's Iniesta and it's Vidic and Ferdinand. It's, these players, they have a great partnership, but standing alone, can they go in the ring by themselves? And Ramos stands by him. So, you hear Ramos, it's Ramos. I don't pair him with anyone on that line. Sure, Marcelo's amazing. Sure.
They had some impressive guys next to him, but
right.
But
you always hear the PK Puyol combo.
Right.
You hear it's always Ramos and whoever.
Who you could put anyone beside him, right? And it's just that's kind of why I'm going with Ramos, just in my mind. And Iniesta, no shortcomings on a career, no shortcomings on skill, ability to show up in the big moment. Obviously, won a World Cup for Spain in the dying embers of a game. It's just it always seemed like he needed that pairing, and there was always that pairing, so it made them both great. That's the only reason I would go with Ramos here.
Yeah,
I'm going to second X, and I'm going with Ramos as well. But because it's the same argument for company, with the difference of he was the leader, but he gave you goals, and so it would have been even harder. Say this matchup was against Henry, because I don't know who I would pick in that one. And so for this one, I just think because you said Champions League finals, Ramos did it with different personnel each time, whereas when Iniesta got his, it was with basically the same people. Ramos said, I don't care who's playing with me. I don't care. I'm going to just go win. Ronaldo left, arguably the greatest player ever. He was like, nah, I'm going to still go get another one.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. Messi left, and Barcelona was like, oh. And so to me, that matters because it goes to X's point. It's Ramos and Ramos.
I would love to have two Sergio Ramos as my double center back pairing.
Talk about brick wall.
Can we clone him?
Can we clone him?
And he's the king of a card too. He'll get you a card every single game.
Every game.
Foul somebody.
And tactically too. There wasn't a whole
surefire bet.
Take out Mo Salah, and
he will foul you.
Yeah, he's the Ryan from CSUX, the guy that you're gonna get kicked. It's gonna hurt.
Right. It's gonna hurt.
What are you telling me, Patrick?
I'm gonna go a different direction. I gotta go with Iniesta. I just that whole triumphant of Xavi and Iniesta and Busquets and Messi. I mean, I put Iniesta right there, just under Messi in my mind. I appreciate everything Ramos did for Real Madrid. He scored he scored goals too as a defender. He's been the most capped in Spain history. So you're talking about longevity. I do think that he is a rare breed as well. I don't think. I think that's one reason why Real Madrid struggled this year. They're still trying to, figure out
Where that, yeah.
where that next guy is, so to speak. I hate that he didn't have a good career for him, at least at PSG. I think a lot of that was more so nobody covering for Messi, so it put a bunch of people on an island. But personally, I go with Iniesta. I like you said, won a World Cup. He had the winning goal in a World Cup. Truthfully, if he doesn't score that goal, Spain's golden generation
Goes with nothing.
goes with nothing.
I feel like Holland would have been better in that shootout as well.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And so I think that legacy alone is just the step above Ramos for me. But this was tough. But like I said in the beginning, Iniesta is he's huge to me. He did things that he had Messi by his side, but he sometimes outshined Messi himself, and that's hard to do. But he could do it. So I'm gonna go Iniesta.
Well, there you go. I think for me, it's going to have to be Ramos as well. And to make a different point about it, if you look at today's game and how, you have different kinds of center backs who can, who can do different things and come into the midfield and play. And I think that Ramos won't have any, he would have no issue, like, say, doing what Johnny Stones is doing
Like John
at City. If you need him to invert and do the thing in the center midfield, gotcha. Need him to be the bruiser in the center of the back line, the Ruben Diaz in the back line, no problem. I think it's just Ramos he's got that X factor again for me. It's that he's going to do everything you need him to do. He's going to pick up a yellow card. He's going to injure somebody. And then he's going to do something you may not expect, which might be the second yellow, or it might be the game-winning goal.
Game-winning goal,
So, for me, it's definitely going to be Ramos as well. All right. Keep it moving. Next up, a really tough one, I think, but maybe not. It's Dani Alves versus Zizou, Mr. Zinedine Zidane.
Bro, there is nobody, bro.
I'm crazy for saying for wanting it to be dramatic and say that
Zizou is almost like he's probably my personal GOAT. Like,
so we're just mad at the bracket gods again on this one.
Sorry, Danny Laceless over here, but Zizou is another. He's just a different level. He's above and beyond any. I think you could have put Zizou at any position, and just the IQ for the game.
He's going to be the best goalkeeper of all time.
He could John Terry it in goal. He does not care, right? Zizou just did things with the ball and had an IQ in the midfield. It just, again, we talk about revolutionizing the game. There is no one I've ever seen through watching it have that type of possession over the ball. He could use any part of, and we give Ronaldinho for all the flair he did. Zizou is like the definition of control. He could put the ball here or on the tip of his nose. Like, he could control it with every piece of him. And the traps.
It's so easy.
Yeah, and it made it look effortless.
Just so easy.
Sure, Dani Alves has an amazing career, amazing trophy case. Zizou's just a different monster when it comes to this legend status in the game. For me, at least. That's easy for me. It's Zizou. I think they
Yeah.
should have retired 10 after Zizou, but that's just me, bro. Like, that's just me.
Hey, man, I like wearing the number 10 shirt.
Of course you do.
Come on. No one else can ever wear the 10 ever.
No, there is no 10 after Zizou. No.
Yeah, I think for me, as much as Alves is just a straight up winner, that's just what he does. He wins. Again, there's only 2 names in front of Zizou for me. Maybe 3 for all of all time. So it's I'm picking Zidane, giving him the armband, first name on the team sheet. Go out there and win the game, bro. I know you got. I know you got.
headbutt
I don't care who we're
anybody.
playing.
Yeah, don't headbutt
we're
anybody.
playing.
Don't
I don't care who
headbutt
comes up with us.
anybody.
Go out there, win the game. I know you can do it.
That's what it is for me, man. It's just,
Yeah.
it's hard to be the greatest, one of the greatest number 10s.
He doesn't have the X factor. He is the X
is,
factor.
right. Right.
He invented the X factor. He's the Chuck Norris of the X factor.
My man said Angels sent him to play in the World Cup. Like, that's why he came out of retirement.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Oh my goodness. What was saying, Lewis?
I mean, what is there to say that you didn't already say, right? I mean, the thing is, I thought about Alves, and then I thought about how good his teams were and how he picked teams well. And so you have to give him credit for being able to pick a team and know that he's filling a spot that the team needed. But X said it. I think you said it as well, Jake. But you build the team around Zidane. You put people around him, he will elevate everyone. I'm not saying Alves wouldn't, but it's different into why he was a winner the way he was. And he deserved to be that winner because it takes intelligence to know how to put yourself in the right place, in the right situation. And in his position, as he got older, you don't have pace like that. And you have to find other ways to defend and be a really good defender, as he was on different levels against different types of players. But you stick that man in the middle of the park and you say, hey, man, here's your wand. Go do what you do.
Do what you
And
do.
then he did it.
Jake said, win me this game. Right.
And then he did it. And sometimes he'd take the wand and throw it away and he'd say, Expelliarmus, and headbutt you. But, it was all right. It was all right.
People forget.
Like
People
the
forget how absolute cold he was on that penalty kick before he got the headbutt.
Dude, the Penteca
The Panenka in
Oh,
a
the
World
Panenka,
Cup
yeah.
final.
off
That's
the crossbar.
Ice.
Off the
in
bottom
the
of the bar.
veins. Absolute ice running through the veins.
And to add more to his it factor, this man went to Real Madrid where, as a manager, and we're not talking about him as a manager, but him as a manager, his aura was so strong that they were super mid in the league. They stepped foot in Champions League and walked over everybody. He left. They didn't win. He came back. They won again.
Because those players would follow, like everyone,
Yeah.
all of those players knew the legacy. They wanted to play for that legacy and play under that legacy and with it and like be a piece of that history that he carries with him. And yeah, dude.
It's like when you're in the locker room and somebody wants to like be like, nah, like we know what we're talking about. No, you don't.
No,
You don't.
no.
I will headbutt you in the
There's
chest.
no one
Sit
in that locker room that can like even begin to think that they know better, that they know more, or that they think it should be there. No. If you're not listening to Zidane about tactics and about the game, you don't deserve to be there. You're an idiot. You're just an idiot. What you telling me, Patrick?
So I went and looked. First off, he has one trophy that Alves doesn't, which is a World Cup. Truthfully.
Wow.
I'm watching, though, his famous goal against Bayern Leverkusen in the Champions League final in 2002, and that was ridiculous. And then, of course, my favorite, which is the World Cup 2006 against Brazil. I mean, You look at that team that he faced, and he was the star in that game. Ronaldinho was in that team. Ronaldo was in that team. And Zidane was a star in that game.
Adriano was on that
Yeah.
Brazil squad.
Who else? Let's see.
Carlos, probably? Or Carlos
Cafu
left?
was there.
Cafu was
Cafu
still
was
there.
there.
Yeah.
I
Carlos
mean,
probably left.
but that's kind of my point. Like, the dude is he's just different. Like I said earlier about there's something in the water in Paris. Kyle was on that team. I just saw him. I mean, but he was the star in that game. Like, you look at all the stars that played, and he was the star. And that's just the type of player he was. Like, he was
A legend among legends.
exactly. With Alves, I liked what Lewis said. He was a part of the sum of all parts. Zidane was the sum of all parts. Everything that worked was around Zidane. It wasn't that teams built for Dani Alves. And I mean, it seems very easy to say it's Zidane, and I agree. There are very few people that would go in front of him for me.
Well, there you have it. I think we are going to call it a night right there on the bracket challenge for now. Go ahead and get the likes up if you're enjoying the bracket. Subscribe to the channel and get that little bell on so you know when the rest of the series drops. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great night.
Absolutely.